Hello, this is Cindy Jordan here, and I'm doing a reflection on fear and moving through fear. This is something I just put on Periscope, and it's just looking at what successful people do. And I was listening to Randy Cage today, who's a highly successful speaker and entrepreneur, and reflecting on his talk about highly successful people, how everybody feels fear, whether it's making the next call or doing something out of our comfort zone. You know, we're all going to have that hesitation, entering the unknown, fear of rejection, fear of looking foolish, different fears. And he was talking about how people who are successful acknowledge those fears, even bring up those fears. You know, go looking for those fears so that they can address them by acknowledging them and then doing something, taking some kind of action to move through those fears. I had two examples, one a distant example and one a recent example that I'd like to share, that I see that capacity within myself, in the hope that you'll also think of some fears that you have already faced in life, fears that could have stopped you, but you found a way to move through. One of mine was whenever I was just like 3 or 4 years old, and we had a babysitter that wasn't the nicest babysitter, and she disapproved of some behavior or action that I did, and though I was an angelic child, I'm sure I did something that bothered her. But she was a big woman, and she yelled at me. She said if I didn't correct myself or do things differently, that she was going to lock me in the closet, in a dark closet next time. Now this really scared me, you know, because she was pretty harsh and mean, and so I knew that she might actually do that at some point. So my thing was, at a point that I felt safe when my mother was home and my babysitter wasn't there, I locked myself, or didn't lock myself, but I shoved myself in a closet and I stayed in there. Even though my mother was yelling and searching for me, I wanted to know that I would be okay if that babysitter ever did lock me in a closet. Well, she never did, and I did come out after my mother was scared to death. Where were you? Where were you? I said, I locked myself in a closet. Or I hid in a closet, in a dark closet. But anyhow, so even as a child, you may think of some things that you yourself have done. Maybe you were afraid to try out for a team, or maybe you were afraid to get up to bat when you were on the team. Maybe you were afraid to call someone, to ask someone out on a date, or to or to say yes to go out on the date. I don't know. We've all had fears, and we've all overcome fears if we've made it far enough to be able to be on Periscope, or far enough to be able to watch a video. So remember that. I encourage you to remember that, so that whenever you're feeling a fear, you can know that you've done it before and been successful. Now, a more recent thing to follow Randy Cage's reflection today is, I laid in bed the other morning and realized that I had some stuff that was stopping me, and I didn't know what it was, be it fear, be it anger, be it grief, you know, whatever it was. I wanted to know what it was, and so I just called it forth as I was laying in bed that morning. I said, just show yourself to me. And so, sort of out of the distance in my mind's eye came this gruesome, just ugly, just gross monster-like, and the closer it got, the uglier it was. And I did a process called Ho'oponopono, where as it came, I thanked it. I thanked it for showing itself. You know, I allowed myself to feel what it felt like for that to be in my system, in my vibration. Then I sent it love, and it was just, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I told it I was sorry. You know, in a way, I'm telling myself I'm sorry for fears that I haven't dealt with, that I've squelched and that are blocking me. So I said I was sorry, and please forgive me. The Ho'oponopono process. And sure enough, in about 5 or 10 minutes, it felt very clear. And whenever I looked and felt through my system, again, I didn't discover it. So it took care of that fear. As I went through my day that day, I noticed how things were a lot more open for me. Whenever I greeted people, whenever people greeted me, the biofeedback or the loop feedback that I was getting from my interactions said yes, something had been transmuted and transformed. So of these two processes, I hope that you can find something helpful for you to face your fears, to face even your angers or any kind of emotional blocks that are stopping you from meeting and greeting your dreams. Your dreams are waiting for you. They're just waiting for us to be ready for them. So I wish you the best as you discover what's getting in your way, if anything, at this point in time, and hope you have some tools now to find a way to process those or to walk through those fears. Get to the other side. All right, peace and love and prosperity to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.